Right, hiya, good morning everybody, morning to Shell's shed, albeit like the last time we're not at the shed yet. So before we go to the shed, I just wanted to get a shot of this to show you. On the last video, I was explaining how I was setting a nuke up to catch a swarm, and here we've got either a load of scout bees that have been on here all afternoon yesterday when I got back from the apiary and all last night, and I woke up early this morning, took a look, and there was loads there this morning. So I'm not sure if the bees have already moved in or if they're still just scouting it out to see if it's a suitable home. So when I've done a little bit of research online, as is often the case, I'm getting some conflicting advice. Some people are saying if they're in there, add some syrup so they've got something to feed on. Other people are saying no matter how tempting it is, don't open it up and have a look. Leave them for a week to get settled in. So the reason I don't know if they're in there or not is I haven't opened it up yet, despite the fact I'm so tempted to, but I'll not. I'll just leave it for a week. So we're just in the back garden here where I set this nuke up last week, like I had showed you on the previous video. Me and Liz just going to get the car packed now, and we'll see you up at the allotment where we're going to do a few finishing touches to the greenhouse and probably have a chat about a couple of other things. So see you then. Just going to put another one then. So I just made a little wooden door stop to stop the door blowing backwards and forwards. I thought wood would be softer and less damaging than just using some bricks. But I also put more decking, so I put some decking inside the greenhouse running the other way to the wood underneath, just to give that a bit more strength as well. I did all that yesterday. And I did it by myself without Lee having to help us. So on this part of the video, there's no sound on the camera. I had explained to Lee that when I was trying to get all the bees into the hive, I'd be concentrating on it so much that I just wouldn't be able to talk through what I was doing at the time. So what you'll see here is I've taken the hive off the bench and I've put it on the floor. I had actually been a bit worried at this point because all the bees that were right underneath the hive, I couldn't see them. So I did wonder if the bees had just absconded and went elsewhere. Anyway, when I lifted the hive down onto the grass, I noticed that the back of the hive was absolutely covered in bees, and there were some bees in the bushes as well. So I despite having a plan in place, you kind of just, my mind just kind of went into overdrive, and I never really fully thought about what I was doing. I kind of just acted on the spur of the moment. So what I'm doing there is I'm just putting a little bit of feed in the side feeder of the hive. You can see he's turning around just thinking, what the hell am I doing here? I had been advised to block the mesh floor on the hive so that no air could get in and circulate. I was advised that wild bees, sorry, you can just see he's laughing with my hands up here saying I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I had been advised that wild bees prefer to have the bottom blocked up, so I was just putting some insulation sheet on the bottom where I then put the hive. I am aware that bees will and can regulate the temperature of the inside of the hive themselves, and they do that by flapping the wings in a certain direction. One direction for cold, another direction to get it warm. I'd nipped into the kitchen to get a spoon. I thought I'm just going to scoop all the bees into the hive here. You can also see on the back of the bush there, there's a load of overhang and the bees were behind that. So I went and got a pair of scissors to cut down the bits of greenery that were overhanging. So that's what I'm throwing out the way there. And then you can see is bit by bit going into the bush and scooping the bees one at a time. Scooping the bees one spoonful at a time and putting them into the hive there. It was an ordinary kitchen spoon, but it was actually quite a deep one, so as soon as I saw it, I thought I'll pick that up. Funnily enough, we'll now actually refer to that in the kitchen as the bee spoon. And you can see here, I'm just scooping up spoonful after spoonful of bees from the back of the hive. When I first opened the hive up, and like I say, I thought the bees had gone, the two old drone combs were in that hive, and I to be honest, I was quite bewildered. I just looked and thought, oh, well, where's all the bees? I mean, it was just a big empty void. And then when I lifted the hive down, I was I was really quite in shock when I seen just how many bees were there. So I'm just scooping them all up into the hive at this point. I'd already put in another 4 frames of undrawn wax foundation. So basically that little nuke hive has now got 6 frames in it. I'm not that strong, but it was still a bit heavier than what I expected, even though it's just lightweight polystyrene. So you can see it's covered in bees as well. They wouldn't have liked being moved. But to be fair, although there was thousands of bees there, they really were exceptionally calm. The huge, massive bees in the bush, were didn't get up and fly around, they just stayed where they were, which made it scooping them in really very easy. I'd never done this before with a swarm, so when I'm shrugging my shoulders and putting my hand up, I'm basically saying, I really don't know what I'm doing here. But they're all got in place. You can see the bees on the front of the hive there. When it was all settled, I just put a brick on top of the hive, although they're quite well situated to make sure that the wind doesn't hit them hugely. It can be a bit windy. In fact, you can see it's a bit windy there, so sometimes it's good practice just to put a brick on. And there you are, seeing me saying, well, that's it. I don't know if what happened right. But what I can confirm is the next night, I went back to have a look. I moved the hive to see if all the excess bees from the back of the bush had gone, and every single bee did. Hi everyone. So I've had quite a bit of a day today. I've been out in the garden trying to move all the bees into the hive. Basically, what happened was, last night there was a load of bees under, like beating or clustering underneath the hive. So I thought there'd be quite a few bees to get into the hive. I went up to it this morning and there was hardly any bees underneath, so I thought, fantastic, the bees have just gone in themselves. So I went out, opened the lid, looked inside the hive, and I just had 2 old drawn comb frames in there. And when I looked in, there was about 2 frames full of bees. But then there's a massive space, a massive void, and I just looked and thought, where's all the bees gone? And then I'm thinking maybe they've absconded, maybe they've decided not to stay there. So anyway, I took the hive, gently lifted it down onto the grass, and as I did, I noticed the back of the hive seriously was about 3 inches thick, filled with bees all along the back. And when I noticed that and gently put it down, I then noticed on the fence behind where the hive was backed up to, absolutely chock-a-block with bees everywhere. So anyway, the video will show you the rest. I basically went into panic mode. I should have shook them into a box that was all ready, but my mind just seemed to go elsewhere. And before I knew it, I remember a little while ago watching a video of this woman, and she was putting bees in these little hives, and she was just using like a kitchen spoon, just like this. 1 minute, she was using a kitchen spoon like this and just scooping the bees up and putting them in, scoop in. And for some reason that must have been in my mind, and I came into the kitchen, I shut the door behind us in case the bees followed us. I went back out with this and I just started scooping all the bees into the hive. And honestly, I don't know where that came from, but anyway. So I have no idea if the queen's in there. I've done as best as I can. And what I'm now thinking is, if the colony is so big, when it's time to go up to the apiary, I need to have a proper wooden hive ready. So I'm now in the process of painting. This is a second coat on this brood box here. The other parts are outside drying in the sun. I'm basically painting this hive with, I'll just show you the product I'm using, excellent paint, not cheap but worth it. French Chic, the Alfresco is the outdoor range, so this paint is suitable to paint garage doors, front doors, you name it, anything that's outside this will paint. I've just gone for Dazzle Me, which is white. I'll probably give them 3 coats of this, which will cover it all, and then later in the video you'll see I'm actually going to decorate them with some stickers, and you'll see how I do the decoration. So that's it. This is part of the hive decorating process. And I'm hoping that this paint, with it being so hard wearing, will last at least a good 2 or 3 years, but we'll have to see. To be honest, it's probably not the paint that isn't gonna last. I think from looking at the hives I've got up at the apiary already, I think it's going to be the stickers that will fade, despite the fact that I've used a glue underneath, and then I've used a product called Tough Top Coat, which is also made by Frenchic, and I've put that over all of the hives and over the pictures. This Tough Top Coat is so hard wearing, apparently you can use it to paint floors and stuff that you walk over, and it'll last because it's very hard wearing. But anyway, that's enough of that. Hi everybody, welcome back to Shell's Shed. So like I was saying, with this getting this swarm of bees, I'm trying to get a hive ready. Well, actually it's already been built, I'm just painting it up. So I painted it in that Frenchic alfresco Dazzle Me. What I'm going to be doing now is basically decorating it. And if I can just show you, you can buy from Amazon these, they're just vinyl stickers for walls and windows. So they're not especially made for outside, but I'm going to, once I've got it all glued in place and glued on, I'm then going to use this product, which is another Frenchic product called Tough Top Coat. Again, it's not cheap, it's about £17 for this size, but a little goes a long way. It's a very thin coat you put on it, let it dry and put a second coat on. I think I had mentioned before, it's so tough that you can actually put it on walkways to walk all over it, so this seems to have done the job. So all I'm going to do now is choose. I'm just going to have a bit mess on with all of these designs and kind of decide what's going to go where, and when I'm up to that point I'll show you how I'm going to get them on, which is relatively straightforward. I'm just using a wood glue, coating all the back, getting it in place, and then I'm just going to let it set overnight before I put this Frenchic Tough Top Coat on the top of it. So I'm just going to crack on and I'll show you some of the design as I'm getting along. Just smoothing this all on, and this will set in place overnight. Right, the next piece of the design, I'm kind of thinking this one. And just play around with it until it kind of falls into the exact place that you want it. Just letting any air bubbles out as you go. And wiping your hands as you go. I'll say that again, like, so you just rub all of the glue underneath, getting any air bubbles out and just getting it into the exact position that you want it in. And then this will just set and dry overnight. It dries completely clear, so just the air bubble there. Right, next piece of the design. I'll put this along the bottom here. It's very slightly too big, but I don't really think that that's going to matter. Do I like that one? Hold on, I'm just going to have a look. Oh. That's too big. This one might work better. Don't know. It's 6 2/3 really. I'm gonna go with this one. So I'm taking the sticker off and I'm just applying glue right up to the edges. This is just, I know I said I was going to use wood glue before, but it's stuck solid, so I've gave up on that idea. And this is just kids PVA school glue, washable, so waterproof, I'm assuming from that. Just got plenty on. It's the edges you need to make sure are fully stuck down. So I've just put plenty in there. Pick it up and just align it to roughly where you want it to go. It's a bit big here, so I'm just going to cut this piece off here. And I'm just going to trim that bit down the bottom there now. And I'll just cut this piece off. Right, and then the same. Just start getting any air bubbles out and just push it all into place. And if glue squeezes out, just take it in your hands and rub it right over the top. It's washable and it'll all set hard and clear anyway, so it really doesn't matter. When you're happy with that, you can clean your hands. Yep. It's extremely windy today, which isn't helpful. I found a little bee that I'm going to put on now. If I can get it off. There we are. Right, now we're going to put the little bee. Let's put the bee up here beside the little fairy. So like she's trying to feed him a leaf. That's it, that'll set in place very nicely there. Right, I'm just going to see what I can put a bit of design here. I think I'm going to use this other flower because the rest of the stuff are autumn based, so don't really fit in with it. Let's have a look at this. I'm just going to put it in that bottom corner. So I'm just doing the same. Some nice green leaves. Or do I just leave it like that? So everybody, I'm hoping you can see the design here, and really how quick it took once you've got all your bits and pieces together. So I'm just going to let that dry overnight, and then tomorrow I'm going to give it 2 thin coats of this Frenchy Tough Top Coat, and that'll basically seal it off. In fact, I'll not just do the design, I'll do right round the whole hive, and it just gives it a good solid seal. Later this evening, I had a delivery of oxalic acid. I'm just going to try and get the bees behind us. Don't know if you can see that, but I got a delivery. Hold on, I'm going to have a look. Yeah, you can. So later this evening, I'm going to get suited up, and I'm going to give the hive a treatment of oxalic acid. It's a pre-made solution, and basically you use it to reduce a very, very common disease that's it's not a disease, it's a mite called varroa. I know all the beekeepers will know all about this. It's a little mite that buries itself into the cells of the baby bees when they're larvae. Because the swarm is broodless, basically the queen hasn't got any babies in there because all the bees left that original hive and came here. So because it's broodless, I can put that oxalic acid treatment on it. If there was babies and brood in there, I wouldn't be able to do this, so it's a perfect time to give them a treatment to try and reduce the varroa load over the summer. But then they'll get treated again at the end of the season with a different base of a varroa treatment. Anyway, I'll see if I can get that videoed when I do it tonight. It's the first time I've used this oxalic acid, and you'll see it later. You basically put it in between the seams of the bees, so I'll need to be suited up for that. That's it, sorry ladies. Sorry, let's just have a look. 1, 2. Well, that is full. Sorry ladies. I'm very sorry. Ugh. I know you don't like this. I'm going to open it up now. There you go. Sorry. Hold on, how much of that is left? Oh, this hasn't all gone in. I don't believe it. Enough hasn't gone in. Sorry ladies. Enough just has not gone in. I'm finished. Sorry ladies. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Look at this. It's covered with bees. So what I've just been doing there is giving the newly swarmed hive of bees a treatment for varroa, which is a tiny little mite that gets inside the cells and it's very damaging to the babies. So the reason I'm doing it now is there's loads of treatments you can get for varroa, but that particular one needs to be used when you've got no brood in the hive. And because they've swarmed, I know that the queen hasn't had time to lay eggs and for them to develop anything yet. So you have to use that particular treatment when the hive is broodless, which it is, so it's a perfect time to do it. So like I say, it's a treatment for a tiny little, probably it must be the most common bee disease within the UK, so loads of beekeepers treat for varroa. The other thing is to notice the sun setting. I'm actually doing this in early evening because most of the bees will be back in the hive now, which means that when I put the treatment in, it's actually having contact with as many bees from that colony, the population in that colony as possible. So that's what I've been doing. I don't think they particularly liked it, but it didn't take very long, and now it's done. You'll see, it's the first time I've done it, and you'll see I came back and done it again, and that's because I'm not used to that little squeezy bottle. So when I went back, I realised that there was still some liquid. I had measured it, and I know I needed to use it all. There was still some left, so I just popped back and put the rest of it evenly between the seams of bees. So quite a few came out who were extremely interested in this microphone, and there's another one here again. Mrs, it's bedtime, come on, it's your bedtime. But they'll now just get settled and move in for the night. So that was it, thanks. I hope you enjoyed today's video, which was about the swarm, about that spoon that I used to scoop them all up to the end of the hive is now referred to in our household as the bee spoon. And I hope you enjoyed when I painted the hive and put the decorations on, and then learned a little bit about this varroa treatment that I've just put on there. So thanks very much for joining us and watching, and I hope to see you all in the next video that gets done. Thanks very much, and good night from Shell Shed.